Hello guys, how you guys doing? My name is Sarah. You're welcome to another very quick one. Today I'll be showing you guys how to make a perfect back vent. But this, I'm using rubber lining for this project. So now, to make a back vent, you can see I've already ironed this like this. You can see it. Now, we'll be marking this like this. You can see the way I'm marking it. So now, okay. Okay. I'll be marking it like this. Oh, okay, let me use my ruler to make the line straight. Okay. So now I have a video on how to cut basic skirts and how to sew it too. When you check on the video, you guys will get to know how we arrive on this tutorial. On this video, you can see the way I'm marking it. Now we'll open this. We open this and mark on 1/2 inch like this. 1/2 inches mark. 1/2 inches mark. You can see my 1/2 inches mark. Then we'll connect the lines together. Like this, and from here to mark 1/2 inches down. Okay, so now you can see the way I mark it. Now we have to cut this out. We are cutting this out like this. This 1/2 inches mark, the 1/2 inches mark, that's what we'll be cutting out. After cutting this out, you know we have to launch this place on 1/2 inch also. Now, when I'm done cutting, I will show you guys what it looks like. Okay guys, I'm done with the cutting. Now we don't need this anymore. We have to throw this away. So guys, don't forget to click the link below to know how we get to this level. So guys, we are done with the cutting of the vent. Now let's bring in the fabric. We'll place the fabric facing me like this. You can see. Now we have to choose our underlap and the overlap. We'll be making use of this place for our underlap. Now we'll bring in the lining and let the front of the lining facing up like this. You can see the way it's facing like this, to be facing up. Now remember I launched this place of the lining. Now we'll do this. We'll place the front of the lining facing the front of the fabric like this. Now we need to use our pins to hold this down, and let me show you guys when I'm done holding it with my pins. Pinning it, you can see how it's looking. Now this is how we'll be sewing it. We'll be sewing it the front of the lining facing the front of the fabric like this. We sew it like this. But before we do that, let's remove these our pins and let me show you guys under lap. So now we have to fold this place like this. You can see the way we fold. Let's fold it again. You know, when you iron it, it will be like this. Now we fold it like this. This place must be point. This place must be point like this. It must have this point edges. This point edge like this. So now you fold like this. Let's use our iron to iron this down, and use our pin to pin down this place like this. Now we need to iron this. So now I'm done ironing this. To get this thing perfectly, these two edges must be equal. These two edges must be equal. Now we now use our office pin to pin this down. When we want to sew, we're sewing from this line of the ironing. We're sewing from there. We're sewing from the line like this. Now let's use our pin to secure this down. When we are done sewing this, we have to cut this. We don't need this anymore. We'll be cutting this out. So guys, let's go to the sewing. I'll go to the sewing machine and sew this down and show you guys what it looks like. And this side is together. You can see the way we ironed it, and it's this point edge is showing, and this both are together. When we want to sew, we're not going to sew to the end here. We'll leave like 1/2 inches because we'll be joining the lining and the fabric together. We sew to 1/2 inches like this to this place here. We're not sewing to this end here, no, because of the joining. So now we turn this like this. You can see the mark is showing on the other side already. When you iron it perfectly like this, the line will be showing. So now we are sewing this. We are not sewing it. We are sewing it on the pressing iron, not on the pressing iron, that line on the pressing iron, but it will not get to the end. We stop like 1/2 inches before we get to the end. So now let's sew it. Let me sew it and show you guys what it looks like. After sewing, you cut this out. You cut it out like this, and you launch this place like this. Now we have to turn it. We have to turn it. After turning it, use your scissors to bring out this pointy edge out like this. And now you can see how it's, you can see what it looks like. The 1/2 inches, we didn't sew to this edge. You can see the 1/2 inches now. So guys, let's bring in the lining. Now we're placing the lining like this. And now we'll be sewing it, the front of the lining to the front of the fabric like this on 1/2 inches. But before we sew that, we have to launch this place. So when we want to turn in this like this, it will be, when we want to make this one to face like this, it will be easy to turn after launching this place. So let's launch this place on 1/2 inch. Okay, so now we'll go to the sewing machine and sew this to this place and show you guys what it looks like. So guys, I've gone to the ironing table to iron this like this. You need to iron this down, the lining down, before we now turn and sew it like this. We turn it and sew. You can see the way I'm doing it. We turn it and sew from this edge like this, ½ inch. You can see the way I turn it. So now let's sew. Okay guys, we are done with the underlap. You can see how beautiful it looks. You can see now we have to do the overlap. Now we are going to the overlap. First thing we have to do here is to bring our lining. We'll be sewing this, the front of the lining to the front of the fabric like this on ½ inch. That's what we'll be sewing. Let me use my pin to show you guys. Okay, so now after sewing it, this is how it will look. You can see how it looks. So now guys, let's sew this. Let's sew it. Let me sew it and show you guys how it looks. Okay guys, I'm done sewing this place. Now you can see I didn't sew it up to this end here, because we have to sew this place like this to this side. After sewing this place, I will show you guys what it looks like. So guys, I'm done sewing this place. Now we have to sew this place straight down, the back of it like this. We have to sew it from this point to this point here, so that we can secure this place. We can secure this space here. We don't need this space. We sew from here to this end, to this end. So guys, let's see what we have here. Okay, you can see how it looks. You can see how it looks. We are not done yet. We have to hold this in like this. But first thing, we go and iron it first and fold this in like this. So guys, we are done with the ironing. You can see how perfectly it looks flat. So you have to iron this place first before we sew it in. So now you open this like this and you pick these two, the two lining and the two fabric together, and we sew them on this line with iron like this. You can see the way it is. We sew it like this. Now let's sew it. Let me sew it and show you guys. So now before we sew, you are seeing the iron line is on the iron line you sew on. I'm done sewing it. You can see how perfect it looks. You can see how flat and beautiful it is. Guys, thank you, and thank you guys for watching. God bless you.